Just a moment.
Who thought this was okay? Who allowed this to happen? You know what? Let's scrap the usual format because there's no debating if the 13 remake is good or not. It isn't. Instead, let's try alternating between naming something good about the game and something bad about the game. The game uses the same audio files, including the voices from the original, so David Duchovny and Adam West are still here.
That's good.
The audio tends to be glitchy or otherwise sound like it's somehow lower quality. It's as if they copy-pasted audio ripped from an old game disc because they didn't have any of the master recordings.
That's bad.
It retains many of the comic book style elements of the original, like the enemy footsteps, sound effects, and the comic panels that pop up for things like mini cutscenes or headshots.
That's good.
Not only were some bizarre art and visual changes made that ended with the game looking worse than the original from 2003, there are graphical hiccups everywhere. Note, I played this on a PS4 Pro, and I'm not just talking about badly pixelated shadow effects. I mean things like the frame rate constantly being cut in half, particularly in outdoor environments, or lower. The ground straight up disappearing if you look at it wrong. Being able to clip through certain objects because no one put collision detection on them. Being able to make most of the world disappear. Randomly having wireframes on every on-screen object appear and not being able to get rid of it for certain background pieces. Enemies randomly dual-wielding guns with one hand. Enemies randomly using telekinesis to levitate their guns a few feet away from their hands. Animations not lining up properly, like the lockpicks floating in 13's hands, or the hilariously bad knockout animation. Dead bodies awkwardly/amusingly ragdolling when they die, and either warping through environment pieces, or simply pulsating as they lay on the ground, except for this one guy whose neck decided to take a vacation.
Ooh, that's bad.
Enemy AI can still manage to do some smart things, like alerting their friends when they spot you, hearing gunfire and checking it out, or shooting you.
That's good.
Enemy AI also tends to not know what to do. I lost count of how many times I ran into a room of enemies, they yelled for help, drew their guns, and ran away, often toward or into a wall. They can also get easily confused if they see more than one dead body at the same time, causing a bizarre type of stun lock where they don't move and just stare straight ahead. And remember how I said the enemies shoot at you and recognize dead bodies? That's unless the scripting breaks, in which case enemies won't shoot at you for several levels at a time. Later on, they wouldn't react to someone they were having a conversation with getting shot in the head directly in front of them. Even then, you are not a bigger threat to them than the environment, as moving objects can cause them to completely phase out of existence.
That's bad.
The game includes aim assist, if you're into that kind of thing.
That's good.
The aim assist doesn't work if the enemy is moving at all, instead causing you to aim 2 feet behind what you want to shoot. And I swear this thing somehow turned itself on again after I turned it off.
Ooh, that's bad.
The Steelbook edition comes with a few postcards and a code to unlock gold weapon skins.
That's good.
The gold weapon skin code has to be redeemed at the publisher's website, which gives you a store code, which you then enter into the store. I just hate this system every time I see it.
That's bad.
The steel case can be used as a fancy, oversized coaster.
That's good.
Location-based event triggers can end up making you, your allies, or the enemies look ridiculous. Here, Jones is waiting for 13 to enter the room, but is apparently shooting tri-beam mind bullets at something in the corner. In said corner is an enemy, who doesn't shoot back at all until 13 enters the room. Entering most any cutscene with a melee weapon causes 13 to instantly throw it away. If this event trigger gets hit before detaching from the grapple line, 13 will get launched back to the grapple point he's still attached to. These are just a few examples because if I included all of them, the video would be way too long.
Ooh, that's bad.
The steel case is effective at preventing papers from being blown off a desk, table, or elevated surface.
That's good.
While you can use certain environment pieces to attack enemies, like chairs or ashtrays, using them will leave 13 with no weapon until you go to the weapon wheel and select another. Even then, sometimes the weapon wheel will either bug out and misread the control stick inputs, or won't work if you aren't holding the control stick in the direction of the weapon, causing the camera to swing to one side when making a selection.
That's bad.
The steel case is hard enough to be used as a throwing weapon, just like the ashtrays in the game.
That's good.
The remake arbitrarily added a limit to the number of weapons 13 can carry, making it more likely to end up with a bad selection of weapons for certain missions.
Ooh, that's bad.
The steel case can be used to protect any disc from a different game that you might actually like and care about.
That's good.
Even saving the game doesn't work properly at times. The game forced me to replay the same level from the beginning 3 times, because it simply would not save my progress until I got past a certain point in the following stage. Also, the game tends to not save your weapons or ammo and resets your small and large first aid kit counts to 0. Of course, that's when you don't lose all your weapons and medkits, because the game's scripting gets so broken you flat out can't finish a level, forcing you to close the game entirely to fix it.
That's bad.
I managed to stretch one Simpsons reference across an entire video.
That's good.
Most NPCs move way, way too fast. The original version of 13, which is infinitely better than the remake, is on Steam for $6 US.
That's good.
Some parts of the environment don't even touch the ground. This game is basically a zombie and a jump scare away from being something I would play for a Fearless video.
That's bad.
And because I want to end this video on a positive note, this more expensive steel case version I've been showing the entire video, I didn't pay for it.
That's good. Can I go now?